sigh.
Alright everybody, welcome back to Nack Presents. No, I still haven't finished Life is Strange. I promise that will get done, but there's not that much left in that, and the new Diablo 3 expansion just came out, Rise of the Necromancer, so I'm going to play through the campaign as the Necromancer, see what's going on with him. I did really enjoy the Diablo 3 when I played through it. Oh, I never have played Diablo 2, so I have no expectations whatsoever as far as what the Necromancer is going to be. Okay, so we'll play through the campaign first. Actually, I'm trying to see if there's... I guess I can't make one for... There's not a season going. I wanted to make one that was part of a current season if they had one going, so that it didn't have all of my Paragon built up. Okay, I guess that we won't play it on normal difficulty then. So I'm at 88 Paragon, so I guess we'll go into Expert. We can always switch it down to Hard then if we need to. Shouldn't be too bad. The story really isn't very difficult at this point. I know it was when it first started, the campaign was kind of hard, but...
All that grows must also wither and die. What dies and rots will then nourish the living. This is the great cycle of being, and we, the priests of Rathma, use our dark art to protect it. Though most do not understand us, we go where we are needed. My master has learned that a star fell in the west, drawing the dead from their graves. He commands me to journey to Tristram and return them to their rest. For if the cycle is not upheld, it would mean the end of all things. I am near the fallen star.
Okay, let's see. I think there were a couple of cosmetic stuff that came with this. Wings of the Crypt Guardian. And I've got all this Paragon to assign.
That is too expensive.
Okay. As you can tell, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to this stuff. I don't like play competitively at a point where like, you know, you have to have the specific builds and have your Paragon put into specific things and need specific gear. I enjoy playing the game, but I've never gotten through it to that point.
I cannot afford that.
Okay. It's a interesting starting attack here.
Has grown.
Okay, Bone Spear, kind of like the Barbarian's spear attack it has.
I have come to aid these lands. Where is the fallen star?
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumford, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
They keep coming.
Not enough essence.
I've never seen anyone fight like that before. Guards, open the gates.
I would hope
Find
not.
Leah at the Slaughtered Calf Inn.
Burn those corpses before they rise again.
The dead have been a bane on our existence since that cursed fire fell. We have to burn them, just to make sure they don't rise from the grave.
I came here to study the fall of old Tristram. This is closer to the town.
Zakarum has fallen. As the shepherd watches over his flock, so shall I care.
I worked my hands to the bone to bring you these fine goods.
Okay, now that I've got some actual gear.
I promised Marco I'd protect him, but now he's dead.
Nothing ever seems to change in New Tristram, does it?
Why do you say that?
There's always some threat of the risen dead or foul evil descending on the town, isn't there?
Don't you dare lift a finger to help our mayor fix
Some heroes are foreigner. You didn't. Afraid of damage. In fact,
the dead rising from their graves.
Your cart is in the way.
How dare you?
Then why are you standing here, idle?
Are you mad?
No.
For many years, villagers were too afraid to settle near the ruins of the cursed town Tristram. But as time went by, adventurers arrived to loot the old cathedral, and their business was profitable enough that New Tristram sprang up to accommodate them. Fewer travelers visit now, though, and the town is mostly populated by craftsmen and farmers.
Tristram used to be such a wonderful place to live. My family has been here since the town grew out of the ruins of old Tristram. But now, it's horrible.
Yeah, and how many times has Tristram been, like, attacked by the living dead and inhabited by demons and stuff over the years?
Have you come to help us? The other adventurers who came through here didn't look so deadly.
I don't care what anyone says. That thing that fell from the sky was no rock. A rock doesn't cause the dead to leave their graves.
I mean, probably some that could.
Are you Lear? Did you survive the fallen star?
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but watch out! The wounded are turning!
This is killing business.
The dead will overwhelm us all, unless something is done.
That's your comment, bartender?
Yes. That is why I am here.
After a whole group of people turn into zombies in your bar, that it's killing business?
I can tell you what to do. We've been under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
Welcome to the slaughtered caffeine. Bring me whatever treasures you have no use for. I'll give you a bit of coin.
Militiamen went out, only Rumford came back. How could that help us?
We never should have built on this cursed ground. Maybe Cain was right. Even in death, Diablo torments us.
Yeah, listen, I don't care how much money you can make from tourists coming in. Don't come back to the place that has been cursed like this.
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where Diabo, Lord of Terror, first corrupted mankind. This is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
Okay. Back to
I
Captain
will bring peace to
Wumpert.
the risen dead.
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
I have experience in these matters.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
There! That's one of the wretched mothers. There are more of them in the ruins down the road.
Alright. A simple dagger. Better than my sword I bought.
Rapma has blessed me.
Look at how quickly you level up here at the start. Rim Scythe.
Not enough essence.
Yay, shoes! Shoes might help when I'm going on this journey.
I could bring that down. I need essence.
Okay, come on, guys. New pants.
My essence is too low.
Well, I think we can do something about that. Okay.
Not enough essence. My power My essence is too low.
Okay, so what's the new skill I got? Corpse Explosion. Target an area exploding up to 5 corpses, dealing damage to nearby enemies. Oh, okay, I guess that's why, enemies turn into, corpses now. They don't look the same way that they used to. Okay, okay.
Not enough essence.
This world can abide you no longer.
So yeah, the Corpse Exploder skill is very cool. It gives you a reason to, the way it works gives you a reason to hold off using it. It works for up to 5 corpses, so might as well wait until you have at least 5 enemies killed.
I need essence.
In that area too, not just in general. Okay. Skeletal Mage. Raise a skeleton from the ground to attack your foes. Okay, so I can keep raising them. That is cool. Oh, but they don't travel with me. So that's useful. Or did they just run out of time? Okay, they do travel with me. They just don't last very long. Okay. Less cool, but I guess it would be overpowered if they lasted for a long time.
Old Tristram. Diablo once walked these lands.
And better gloves. Every little bit counts. So you've got the corpses of the original team of militia members came out here to try and stop the risen dead. Clearly that didn't go very well for them. They all died except for
an interesting opponent.
Except for the current captain.
Chaos everywhere, and word in town is that Lachdanin killed the king. If only this is true. Such days and nights of living in terror are behind us now.
Yeah, it didn't take very long. All right.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming back to this place. There were a lot of ghosts here for him. This is where Diablo drove old King Leoric mad and terrorized the people. I don't know what really happened here, but whatever it was horrible. Nearly everyone who survived went mad.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Interesting. If he lives, his knowledge could prove useful. My master would take pride in this.
Quick shoes of thorns. Those. Let's give it thorns damage. We've unlocked. Wound for bone spikes. It occasionally stuns enemies. I'll take it.
I will help you find your uncle, Leah.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.
And I've dug up some...
Okay. I'll sell off everything. Not using.
new things for you to take a look at.
Anything I can actually use. Tillian Sash of the Bear. Plus 6 strength, plus 3 life per second.
You know it's not polite to go through other people's things, don't you?
Eh. Overrated.
When Leah told us the dead were pouring out of the cathedral, we quickly went to put an end to it. At first it seemed we were succeeding, but they just kept coming. We were overcome. Captain Dalton and the men fought valiantly. They protected me. I am no soldier. I was a farmer. I should not have been out there with them. I do not know how I made it back here. None of the others did. And now, somehow, I'm supposed to lead the militia. I volunteered to help because it seemed the right thing to do. but I'm no leader of men.
True, though you have held the town thus far.
That's a simple thing for you to say. You were born to fight monsters like the risen dead. Me? I'm just a farmer.
Listen, Rumford. I got where I am through a lot of hard work and training.
It's a shame that bar got itself. I could do with some music right now.
The gates might fall at any second, and you want a pretty song?
Can you think of a better time?
Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm sneezing so much today.
My wife was one of them risen dead before it became fashionable. You should have seen her in the mornings.
Wow, way to be a dick, man.
This is my room. Do you like it? A miracle has happened. A hero, like one out of Uncle Deckard's tales, appeared and saved us. I know in my heart that my uncle still lives, and I pray that the hero will bring him home safely.
Wow, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I was feeling fine up until I started streaming.
It doesn't seem likely that Deckard Cain could have survived down in the cathedral this long, does it?
Strange things happen in these lands.
You seem quite sure of yourself. You know something I don't.
Well, I'm guessing the answer to that, Hedrig, is I know many things that you don't.
Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
Did you know your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons.
I'm sure that won't end up being a lie at all.
Look! A hidden cellar! Follow me!
Not very hidden.
Magic lingers here.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it. Captain Dalton!
Take some braces.
Here's the key, and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
Leave that to me. You'd best stay and learn what you can.
Thank you.
Aiden came to me last night. I suspected what was lurking within his troubled heart. I consoled him as best I could. Regardless, wherever he's headed, hell will surely follow in his wake. The shadows close in on Tristram once again. But like Aiden, I'll be gone before they fall.
How did your mother die?
Well, details are hazy, but I know that Adria was obsessed with chasing the arcane. She knew she could never raise a child. Uncle Deckard believes that the madness and horror of her life finally caught up with her.
How did your mother?
Well, Uncle Deckard
Okay. Bone Spear and the Blighted Marrow. Damage is increased for each enemy it passes through. Interesting. Tillion Bracers of Thorns. I'll take it.
The night
Wow. Oh man. The pass through. Ancient Spear does a lot of damage now when it's passing through all these guys.
Enough essence.
Okay, that's all we got here. Back up to the road. There was usually more to the... Guess not.
Not enough essence. Ah, Tristram Cathedral.
Nothing bad ever happens here. The church in real life wishes it could make cathedrals that are like half as amazing as Tristram Cathedral.
The star fell below.
And all the buildings in this game are massive.
This will be a challenge.
Come on, come on, come on. I already. A better shield on my offhand. To the lion.
Help me! It's inside me! Inside!
Dannon, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I lived only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
Well, I think some people might question that after you killed him. Not saying you weren't right to do it, but no man has a greater love for blank, even as I killed him, usually doesn't hold up very well. Whoops, Lance. Interesting. Target an enemy to summon projectiles from nearby corpses to damage the target.
essence is too low. That is not possible.
Oh, okay. Not really necessary, but I do enjoy, like, leaking everything in sight.
Essence. I'm afraid not.
So far, Necromancer's skills are definitely working out well. Which doesn't surprise me. Diablo 3 had its issues, but they weren't in the characters and the abilities. Lucky braces of the leech.
Foul minions, stay back! Back! May this ledge hold. The Skeleton King?
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Oh, hell no.
My essence is too low.
Stay back!
I do like this corpse missile attack. Leather gloves of thorns.
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
I believe
I would think you'd be a little bit more concerned about this
your niece told me you were here.
necromancer with the
It is
the
wonderful
giant
to hear
like
that Leah is
skeleton
well.
wings.
I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found. We must discuss the fallen star. Follow me.
Balanced broadaxe.
I have found Leah's uncle, Deckard Cain. He was pursued by a creature called the Skeleton King, who blocks the path to the fallen star.
Not sure why that information required a special cinematic.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
Friend? I am not often called that. But I wish to know more about the fallen star.
The prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back.
So I'm gonna go ahead and equip the hut because that's cool. I guess that's the Necromancer's like special class item.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
I will find a way to lay him to rest.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts. Leah, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts? The Zakarum tomes warn of a falling star. The Herodric scroll spoke of the dead rising, and the Lord of Lies. The prophecy of the end days says that at the end of all things, the first sign shall appear in the heavens.
Yes, you've been telling me about the text since I was 8 years old, Uncle. I just don't think we should read too much into them.
From the east shall come a monarch whose rule begins in blood and ends in bone. In the light of a comet will he die a third and final death at the hands of true men. Death may be upon us all.
Sell off inventory. Venturing leather pants of focus.
I've dug up some new things for you to take a look at.
Ooh, feast. It's a scythe too, which fits my aesthetic. Yeah, I might as well get some use out of this. Out of the shops now, because there really isn't anything you can do with the shops once you get higher levels. They don't have anything that's better than what you get from loot. You get a lot better stuff from loot.
I've spent most of my life traveling from place to place with Uncle Deckard, while he did his crazy research.
It seems reasonable enough to me.
He's convinced that the forces of hell will invade our world and bring about the end times. All these years, he's still searching for a way to stop this apocalypse.
What did you learn of Adria?
She wasn't from Tristram originally. She came here during the Troubles. She was in search of something, but I'm not sure what. She reminds me of Uncle Deckard, obsessed with the war between angels and demons.
I am the last of the Horodrim. I couldn't always claim this. In fact, if I had turned to the Horodric teachings sooner, Diablo could have been stopped before his reign of terror began.
That seems unlikely.
When the first signs appeared, I did nothing. I had shrugged the old tales off like they were so much fantasy, and Tristram, no, the world has paid dearly for my arrogance. I have tried to make up for my failings. Leah and I have spent her lifetime scouring the world, collecting pieces of the prophecy of the end days. If I can decipher it, we will have the key to defeating the Lords of Hell.
You and Leah depend on each other.
I do not know what my life would have been like had I not raised her.
And of course, it can't possibly be so easy as just ciphering a prophecy to defeat them.
For the secrets to defeating the Lords of the burning hells. But though she has seen her share of mysterious things, she is still unsure of my quest. I can understand. She has never seen anything like Diablo and his brothers. The prophecy of the end days is contained within the Horodric tomes I inherited from my ancestor, Jared Kane. It is a warning to those who could interpret it regarding Hell's ultimate invasion of our world, written by many different people throughout history, in many different lands. All known versions of the prophecy are incomplete. I have spent a good part of the past 20 years trying to complete it. I am certain it holds the answers to defeating the Lords of Hell.
What happened to Tristram's king?
Leoric resisted Diablo's attempts to possess him, but the effort left him weak and confused. When his son Albrecht was kidnapped to be a vessel for Diablo, it destroyed any sanity Leoric had left.
And so he became the Skeleton King.
He commanded an army of the dead deep within the cathedral, finally serving the Lord of Terror he had resisted while alive. Many adventurers tried and failed to slay the Skeleton King. It was left to Leoric's eldest son, Aiden, to finally kill the monster his father had become.
+4 life per hit, +1 maximum essence. Chance to deal 12% area damage on hit.
So this is how it ends? They dragged my cart from the road, but for what? I can't get it repaired. Might as well dig a hole and die in it.
You would not be alone. Many have died before their time here.
Did you know that King Leoric had his own wife executed? Terrible, terrible things happened when he went mad.
Will Leoric's spirit never rest? Why was he cursed so?
Cleared out the old town and rescued Deckard Cain? I'm never betting against you again.
See, the problem is, they never should have named this place New Tristram. We wouldn't be getting attacked all the time if we were called, oh, I don't know, New Wellington, would we?
Probably.
Uncle Deckard is home, rescued from the clutches of the Skeleton King. I'm so glad. But the Skeleton King, I thought he was a folktale. The idea of Mad King Leoric returning to torture this place. Hasn't Tristram suffered enough?
You know what would take everyone's mind off their troubles? One of Theodos's great comedies.
I've seen one. Two men dressed as women, screeching at each other and tearing the bodices. Oh, a chilling rot.
Glad to hear it. Rehearsals in 3 hours. I have some new. Don't touch anything unless you're buying it. I like to keep my inventory clean.
If I wasn't on a returning account that had all this money from my previous run-throughs, I wouldn't be able to buy stuff as much, but I have essentially unlimited funds at this point.
Spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife, tending the wounded.
What? She was out defending the gates this morning. What is driving that woman?
Sheldo, how sweet of you to ask. My people, the Vetchin, are nomads, always traveling, looking for the land we might settle. All of us have the sight, but few have it as strong as myself. You know, men have always pursued me for my visions. Well, for things other than my visions. But everyone wants to know what the future holds.
My duty is my future.
So serious. Just because you're fated to save the world doesn't mean you shouldn't have a good time. The world is constantly renewing itself, eternally playing out the same events over and over again. We can merely play our parts.
What are you trying to say?
I speak clearly. Do not blame me for the state of your mind.
The first time you play through, you can't pick up Miriam until final act, which is actually the expansion. The Weeper.
Old Rumford has us down.
Weeper of Souls.
How are we supposed to fight if we're starving?
The rest of the town is down to quarter.
Then when you play another playthrough, she shows back up from the start, so you can use her services where she will modify the appearance or attributes of weapons that you have, or armor or whatever.
You think you're some type of hero, here to save us all? The dead will feast on your bones as easily as they will ours.
And Covetous Shen, who's the jeweler here, is similar. You run into him in Act 2 of the story.
I sell jewels.
I see. Where are you from?
Xiangsai! Great families, war in the streets, political intrigue, and bottomless wells of treachery around every corner.
You don't have to tell me stories. I prefer the truth.
Truth? Never touch the stuff. You are very brave to venture outside the town gates. I hear there are all sorts of dangerous things crawling around out there.
I have no fear of the Risen.
He's very useful because
Oh, that's terrible.
jewels that you get, which you can slot in, give various attributes, and he combines lesser ones to make higher level ones and sockets them into your armor and all of that. So
Like this Descartes Kane fellow?
for me is the most useful of the three. I pretty much never use the Mystic.
What could you possibly be referring to?
We both had rather interesting experiences with the Zakharum priestesses in our youth, so...
I've only ever really used the blacksmith at higher levels when you're trying to get legendaries and set armor and weapons.
You know, there's nothing in the world quite so perfect as jewels. They have color, size, shape, transparency.
It seems you are obsessed with them.
Oh yes, if only I could eat them, I would need nothing else in life. Not that you can't. I hear some people even shape certain crystals atop their food.
Don't tell anyone. Sure, I may do business with some unsavory types, but I pass the savings on to you.
Alright, so a scythe that is better in every way. Well, I'll take that.
You are the blacksmith, aren't you? I have a request.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
Death is a path all must tread. Allow me to help.
Thank you. Follow me. Friends, I'm sorry.
Do not apologize. You grant them peace. I have trained well.
Alright, so back over to Grim's Scythe. Execution. Enemies at low health have a chance to be decapitated and instantly killed. Command skeletons. Command your skeletal minions to attack the target and increase their damage.
That is not possible.
Mira, my love, forgive me.
Hedrig, help me.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Hedrig Aemon.
There is a way you could repay me. I seek the crown of King Leoric.
I can help you there. It's buried with his chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Thus far, at least, I do enjoy the command skeletons. It's cool running around with this army of skeleton warriors at your back.
I'm afraid not. Ah, an interesting. I require a corpse for that. The blacksmith's apprentice has fallen. Another disruption in the balance. I cannot do that.
Yes, corpse missile is definitely a
My power has grown.
Okay. I've unlocked my first passive skills. Fueled by death. Consuming a corpse increases your movement speed by 3% for 5 seconds. The effect can stack up to 10 times. Life from death. Consuming a corpse has a 20% chance to spawn a health globe. I will definitely take health over movement speed.
That is not possible. This world can abide you no longer. No.
Man, pretty much all I ever have to use is corpse missile. Siphon blood. Generate 15 essence each time damage is dealt. Siphon the blood from the targeted enemy, dealing damage and healing you. And mages may leave a corpse behind when they die or expire. Well, that at least will fuel my corpse missile. Still don't think I like... Oh, my well, I still don't think I like mages, the skeletal mages as much as the much as the bone spear. But I thought at first that would be a replacement for
That is not possible.
Weakness consumes
for
you.
my skeletal army, and I would say that it's definitely not better than that.
I'm afraid not.
Man, all these health
That
blows.
is not possible.
So this is very fun. I'm enjoying this.
That is not possible. No.
Come on. Yay! Treasure Goblin. My helm look like. Okay. 15 vitality, plus 4 life per second, plus 6 life per hit, plus 5 experience per kill. Definitely work with that.
I cannot do that.
Alien leather belt to the bear. Chilean hide breeches of the bear. Lots of bear stuff.
That is not possible. No. I cannot do that. afraid not. No. I cannot do that. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. I can bring that down. I'm afraid not.
Alright, so here at the Cemetery of the Forsaken, we have a couple of options as far as where to go. We will go try this defiled crypt first.
I'm afraid not.
Death Nova. Unleash a Nova that damages all nearby enemies. And Corpse Lance. Back to Corpse Explosion. Bloody Mind's Wound increases the size of the explosion. Alright.
Cycle.
Alright, so we will back down this way.
The night embraces you. Can abide you no longer.
Oh man.
I understand so much more now.
Okay, let's see what we got. So take our primary attack off of Siphon Blood back to Bone Spikes. To Bone Pillars. Instead strikes the target and up to 2 nearby enemies with large bone pillars. Not sure that I like that more than the original Bone Spikes, but we'll see. And Reanimation. Take it off of Command Skeletons to Command Golem. Active. Command the Golem to the targeted location where it collapses into a pile of usable corpses.
You will make a fine corpse. I must wait.
Okay, so him, so you can tell the golem will go and do damage, but you can also command it to go to the target and essentially kill itself and turn into a pile of corpses, which you can then use, of course, for your various abilities. But that's on a cooldown, so you can't constantly spam it. Alright, so we've cleared this floor. Until level 2.
I think the crown is nearby.
Don't usually get to the right crypt on the first try. Unusual.
That needs to recharge.
Your death nears.
So that's our ticket. That's our way out of here at the end of this.
No, I will not allow you to bring that monster Leoric back to this world.
It feels like that whole battle could have been avoided if you guys could have just talked for a second and been like, hey, I'm not trying to bring him back. He's already back. Stand alone. Increase armor by 100%, reduced by 10% for each active minion. I would still increase it by 90%, at least. Now, it would be less useful if I go back to my skeletons, but with just my golem up, still very useful. Whoops, lance. Shredding Splinters rune. Each lance slows the target and reduces its damage. Well, seeing as how Corpse Lance is usually killing its targets in one shot, that's not super useful. Crepify. Crippling curse that reduces the enemy unit's movement speed and damage done. Not a huge fan of that kind of stuff, but nothing wrong with that in particular. I just prefer more direct damage dealing or something that's seems more immediately useful. So it's telling us to use the town portal to go back to Tristram, but we will just use the waypoint here. Go back to the entrance and we will go raid the other crypts here. Before we do that. This version of Bone Spikes is very useful for breaking the random breakable objects around the world. The hitting multiple targets works on them too, apparently.
This creature will die.
Victory Resort. New shoulders. Lady Dunhill.
Grave robbers have defiled my tomb. Now my husband writhes in torment because I do not rest at his side. Return my bones so that we may rest in peace.
I think I can do that for you.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Okay. Not entirely sure why skeletons make corpses. It's not how this actually works, but... Okay, back to Skeletal Mage. Contamination. Release a contaminated mage that channels an aura of decay. Ah. Sounds interesting. Back over to command skeletons. Forcer reduces the cost to command your skeletons. Well, I never actually commanded my skeletons at all. So, not sure how useful that will be. I'll come back down and I'll switch my passive back over to Life from Death because of how many skeletons that armor passive isn't going to be as useful anymore. So the corrupted mages are stationary and don't do an attack, they just have that aura that they channel.
I'm afraid not. That is not possible. That is not possible.
Oh, the corrupted ones don't leave corpses either. Well, that takes away a lot of the skeleton mage's usefulness if they aren't leaving corpses behind.
That is not possible.
Solstice Renegade. Okay, what's mine? Bone Spear, Bone Spikes, and Bone Spirit have a 30% chance to trap enemies in a bone prison for 3 seconds. Alright. Devour. Consume nearby corpses to restore essence per corpse. Now, I can already kind of tell that I'm not gonna like this as much as Corpse Missile or Corpse Explosion, but we'll give it a shot. Especially because I don't like my ability right now that uses essence. Okay, we have one more crypt here.
When King Leoric came to court, he brought many nobles with him, and nobles, oddly enough, want noble crypts. So I showed up with my shovel, thinking to make easy profit by digging a few holes. Ha! There's no stopping their demands around here. Now, I eat, sleep, and breathe dirt, it seems.
Or not. I thought there was another one up here, but that was wrong. Okay, it wants us to use the town portal, so let's portal out of here. Now, I would think everyone in town should be like super terrified right now.
You found the crown. Truth be told, I didn't think you'd make it back alive. Ah, it needs repair. Should be no problem. It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy my mind. I want my life to mean something.
There is no higher calling than serving the balance. The priests of Rathma would welcome your aid. But I should tell you, during my travels, I found the body of your apprentice. It was a quick death.
Fool boy. Hope for the worst and you will not be disappointed. Thank you for the news.
I have retrieved the crown.
Ah, at last. With it, you can unlock the sealed door in the room where you rescued me and enter the royal crypts. When you find the Skeleton King, place the crown atop his head and destroy him.
There is no other way to reach the fallen star, it seems.
I've got some...
As the shepherd watches over his flock, so shall I care for those who seek to protect us.
That's nice of you, Brother Malachi. Alright. Got the inventory. I'm gonna try and keep the scythe and the hearts on this guy because I think, you know, it's kind of like its class weapon and accessory. So of course you can switch it up if you want to, but I think it looks cool.
I wish that Leia could live a different life, a more normal life. But alas, such is not her fate. When I pass, there is none but her to continue my work, and the future of this world hangs in the balance.
The news continues to worsen. How can you continue to wade into the fray with nary a thought for your own safety? It is madness.
This is what I have trained for.
My dearest Heydrich, do not feel despair, my love. You did everything you could. Our time together meant more than words can say. But in the end, fate is a cruel mistress. Your strength is needed to end the horrors that beset this world. My final wish is that you find your path. Love always. Mira.
I would like to hear more about your grandfather, the Chancellor.
Not much to tell. I lived with my father in Chaldeum at the time. We heard that my grandfather stayed in Tristram until the end, trying to save lives. Don't know if he succeeded, but there it is. When the Skeleton King fell, my grandfather was dying from a sword wound. He had the crown sealed with him to keep it safe.
He made his choice, then. Back at your forge already?
Work needs doing. No one is going to do it for me.
You were quite upset about Mira.
I don't want to talk about my wife. Dead is dead and gone is gone. Do you want work done or not?
Not particularly, no. I don't find the blacksmith super useful in this game.
Bless you for saving Deckard Cain. I don't know what Leo would do, what any of us would do if Cain were trapped.
Did you know that King Leoric had his own wife
Will Leoric's spirit never rest? Why was he...
Was it the Skeleton King meant to be dead? I mean, I know he was dead, but wasn't he supposed to be really dead? He should have the decency to stay dead. Again.
Alright, no new journal entry from Leah.
I have some new items that I'm certain you'll love.
Ending leather doublet of focus. Crestbite. Black color fits better with the rest of my motif anyways.
Is there no justice in this world? Leoric bravely withstood Diablo's attempts to possess him, and look what he got in return. Madness and a cursed death.
Many have suffered in these lands. It shall grow worse if we do not act.
You think you're some type of hero, here to save us all.
Well, though I never knew him personally, I saw Leoric himself when he was building his manor. A troubled man, with a heavy burden upon his fragile mind. Is it any wonder that he built such a home for himself? What he needed was someone to teach him how to laugh once in a while.
Yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot of laughing going on. York's household. Might be right about that. Now they head back to the cathedral. Cathedral garden. And into Yorick's Passage. Now. Open the door. Continue down into the cathedral. To eventually confront the Skeleton King.
An interesting opponent.
Alright. We'll head south. Start with.
It was Lazarus. Of that I am certain. He alone had the king's ear, and whispered dark and evil magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmarch. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop, the councillors nodded their empty heads in agreement, and sent us off to die.
The night embraces you. Weakness consumes you.
Out. And this is a dead end down here, so back the other way. Alright, so primary attack back to Safe and Blood. And you pull Bloodsucker. You pull nearby health globes to you while siphoning. Bone Spear. Teeth Wound. Launch razor sharp teeth that damage enemies in front of you. Leech. Curse the target area. Cursed enemies heal the attacker when they are struck. Yeah, I think I like that a lot better than Crapify.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through.
forever live in anguish for my last attempt to honor my king. As we lay him to rest in his burial chamber, he manifested as a hideous skeletal demon. Gorash and my other knights were overcome at once, but I fought on.
Alright. Okay, yep, everything else is explored. So, back down this way. To level 3 of the cathedral.
Maintain your incantations. You will soon turn.
Ave Magistros, Ave Registros, Ave Neodastos.
Your magic is weak and I am free! Now, back to my mission.
Who are you?
You will know soon enough. Help me find my gear. I will reward you well. Tell me, what brought you to this infernal place?
I must slay the Skeleton King.
Then our aims align.
I can bring that down.
Now these guys are pretty strong. Chainmail of Focus. That actually looks pretty cool.
The cultists dragged me past this glowing pit. What made it? I will know soon. Down this way. There are my weapons.
He's free! Do not let him rearm!
I am Cormac, warrior of the Templar Order. If it is the Skeleton King you seek, then you will have to fight your way past John Dar. There is no reason we should hunt alone.
If you insist.
Wow, that was not very welcoming. Leggings of Focus. One of these would probably summon something.
Black magic bars our way. But the will of a Templar is stronger.
You were a Templar, John Dar. How could you succumb to this coven?
The Coven is my brotherhood now. The powers we serve will soon rule this world! Please forgive me. My vision was clouded by the Coven's evil magic.
Betrayal can never be forgiven. Thank you for your aid.
It's quite
I will go with you on your hunt for the Skeleton King, but there is one condition. If we find the sacred tomes of my order, they are mine.
Do as you please. Such books do not interest me.
Then onwards we go to fight the Skeleton King. What shall we fight today?
That is quite a standard to establish there. Betrayal can never be forgiven. Right. The spear on You replace the javelin that you were carrying. Let's decide what we want to do with your skills.
That will serve me well.
Intervene to taunt enemies. Loyalty to provide life regeneration. And charge. Charge enemies, dealing damage and stunning them. Height Shield of Focus. Alright. All kitted out and ready to go. Now to the Cathedral level 4. Yeah, I don't think a Templar would really be so on board with Necromancer.
Now I wonder.
Alright, what do we got? Oh, back to Grim Scythe. And Dual Scythe. Slash with 2 summoned scythes, dealing damage and pushing enemies together. Cool. Back to Death Nova. Each cast increases the radius of your next Nova. That is cool. Back to Command Golem. Flesh Golem. Active command. So it changes its active from just a pile of usable corpses to a very large pile of usable corpses. Okay.
Cursed by my once beloved king. Evil gnaws at my bones, and I cannot risk putting my beloved Tristram in danger, should I fail to contain that which tears at me. I must venture down into the labyrinth, to die alone.
Got this little back passage here we can go down. No, it doesn't accomplish anything. Maybe there would have been something there, I wasn't sure. Okay. Back the other way. Don't taunt them, Cormac. Okay, so back to skeletal mages. Use a skeleton archer to attack your foes and grant you increased attack speed every time they attack. Back to command skeletons. Commanded skeletons go into a frenzy, meaning increased attack speed for the duration. Oh, well, maybe I'll actually use the command then. That's what it's doing. Bone armor. Rips bones from nearby enemies, dealing damage and creating armor that reduces damage taken per enemy hit. Huh.
Go within.
Okay, legendary belt. Vigilante belt. Plus 35 intelligence, plus 36 vitality, plus 60 life per second. Plus 19 experience per kill. Rolled health pickup increased by 1 yard. Increases cooldown of all skills by 4%.
Go down easily.
Okay, so we've circled back around here to the start. So the crypts are down there, so we will head back around. Clear up the remaining parts of the level that we haven't touched. Alright. That was the last little zone for this area. I'll head back down. It's alright that I missed that room since wasn't anything in it anyways. Onto the Royal Crypts. Almost there, guys.
Keep your distance from him. This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness, Leoric.
Traitors! Even in death, the armies of Condorus will still obey their king, even if you will not.
Yeah, that's worked out well for you.
We have just arrived in Tristram, and I must say, I'm a bit dismayed. This place is a backwater filled with serfs and an ancient broken-down monastery, hardly fit for the King of Condorus. I cannot fathom why Lazarus was so intent on this becoming our new seat of power.
Because he works for Diablo.
You dare to bring the wand of light.
Are you ever afraid? Emotion weighs little on the priests of Ravna. We are both blessed then. My faith armors me against fear.
Fetid, pallid malaise has fallen over the manor we now call home. Young Albrecht seems to be enjoying himself in our new home, however. Perhaps I am simply suffering from an imbalance of humors brought on by the recent change of climate.
Now we're in the crypt.
You will never defeat me!
You were defeated the moment you surrendered to madness.
That's not very fair. Leoric resisted Diablo for a long time. Noun Law. Looks like a good amulet. Leoric's Crown. Okay, 2 new passives in the second passive slot. Mando the Risen Dead. This is cost of command skeletons and the cooldown of command golem are reduced by 30%. Swift Harvesting. Increase the attack speed of Bone Scythe, Siphon Blood, and Grim Scythe by 15%. Okay. I will both of those. And final slot unlocked for follower.
Well,
Guardian, just in case I ever get to a point where life is running low. Just because it hasn't been the case yet doesn't mean it might not ever be the case.
The crater. This is unexpected. How did you come here?
I remember falling.
Who are you?
I am not your enemy. I think. Yes, I believe I have come with a warning. The darkness. The darkness is coming. I don't remember.
You must get to safety. Then we will find answers.
Okay. Back to New Tristram.
I believed it was a fallen star. But in truth, it was only a man. And of course, his memories have vanished. Perhaps Deckard Cain will know more. I found him in the crater.
No man could survive such a thing. Who are you? What are you?
A warrior, I think. I came bearing grave news, but I cannot remember.
Your message might be all that can save us from impending doom.
So no pressure, buddy.
Tell me everything you remember, stranger. Every detail.
Falling. Fire. A sword of great power. It was part of me. But it shattered into 3 pieces as I fell.
It is vital that we find those pieces. I believe the sword made whole will restore your memory.
The goatmen are rampaging through the fields. Could the sword have anything to do with that?
Of course, of course. Just as the dead rose around the stranger, the sword pieces drove the goatmen to madness.
It's possible. We'll have our answers once I retrieve the sword.
What was once 1 shall become 4. Though the 3 shall become 1, never again will the 4 be whole. Death may be upon us all soon, but I shall do what I can to ease your pain.
The inventory. Solstice Renegade. This is Spear with the Falchion. So we still got the best shield on. The amulet. Okay. Junk everything else.
I will use this.
I've dug up some new things for you to take a look at.
Sell off everything. Repair. Alright.
After King Leoric went mad, no one lived in these parts for a long time. Then adventurers were lured here by tales of riches to be found inside the old cathedral. New Tristram started when some traveling merchants decided to set down here to sell to the adventurers. It grew quickly. Lots of good farming in these parts. Well, before all of this started.
Do you remember anything else yet?
Only that there were surges of light and a kind of pain.
You seem unwell.
The emptiness gnaws at me. It is a constant frustration.
There is no need for that. I will return the sword soon.
The Horodrim were powerful mages gathered together by the Archangel Tyrael to defeat the three prime evils, Diabo, Mephisto, and Baal. They devoted themselves fully to the destruction of the demon lords and left behind valuable tomes and teachings.
And you are connected to them, right?
My ancestor was the leader of the Horodrim, Jared Kane. When the Horodrim died out, their tomes stayed in my family. I was thrilled by tales of the Horodrim as a little boy, but it wasn't until I returned to them as an adult that I realized they contained deeper truths. Tyrael is the angel of justice. He has been helping mankind for generations, though he is forbidden to do so in any direct manner. Long ago, the high heavens and the burning hells made a pact as a result of the Sin War that they would not interfere in our world.
So Tyrael is bound to his word even though the demons have broken their pact.
The Angiris Council, the archangels that lead heaven, almost destroyed our world once to keep the demons from spreading their corruption upon it. If Tyrael were to act directly, it would alert the Council to the demons' activities here and imperil us all.
Right, well, these sound like great choices.
It was a place of great beauty before the dirty Khazra fouled it with their presence. Kill some of them for me, will you?
That is the plan.
I don't know what would have happened to this town without Deckard Cain.
That Templar you brought to town may seem grim to most, but
I think he's hiding a good heart.
I heard the goatmen have come down from the hills and are killing anything they can get their claws and hooves on. We should have killed them all when we had the chance.
What was that exactly?
I can hardly believe it, but the falling star is a man. When Uncle Deckard realized this, he was crushed. I know he was hoping for something more miraculous.
More miraculous than a man falling out of the sky, losing his memories, and his impact raising the dead?
I've decided to write an epic poem on the death of the Skeleton King. All I need to do is find out how he was killed.
You could ask the one who did it, you know. He's right over there.
And give up my artistic license? Never. I have some new. I suppose business will pick up now that the Skeleton King is dead.
Is better, but I don't want a two-handed scythe. Finder style. Dexterity and vitality, 2 thorns damage, plus 8% movement speed.
Did you see that stranger next to old Cain? I was listening to him talk. I bet he comes from Westmarch.
Oh, really? So people from there usually travel by falling star? Use your head. If he's from Westmarch, I'm Empress of Chaldeum.
Do not question the path you are on. It will lead you through things that will try your very soul. But you'll always have me to talk to.
Talking is a waste of time.
You pretend you are a rock, but I know the softness you don't want anyone to see. Why else would you continue to come and talk to Miriam?
Don't tell anyone, but I've got some new items you really should see.
I don't like what's going on around here. Too many new faces. The dead rising from their graves were no picnic, but at least they kept the strangers away.
Wow, really? It's a great way to look at things.
It was a jewel that fell from the sky. Oh, did you ever consider that?
I cannot say I did. Besides, we know now that it was a man.
A man? Now that is strange. Where do you suppose he came from? And how did he survive his fall? Did he have any jewels on him?
Okay, back to the cemetery.
If there's a sword here, we will find it.
To the fields of misery. The Cosmo really did a number to this place.
That is not possible.
Okay, this is a lot of enemies here. Okay. Back to Corpse Lance. Enemies become brittle, increasing their chance to be crit each time they are hit with Corpse Lance. Alright. And then curses. Back to Decrepify. Cursed enemies have a chance to be stunned when hit. Okay.
I like to think the world is safer now.
These guys are tough. It's one of the things that's weird about Diablo 3 sometimes is that you can't tell by looking at them a lot of times.
Strange. This place is still occupied.
Stay away! There's nothing in here of use to you.
How good a enemy is.
We should have known. The farmers left over a fortnight ago, and yet we stayed. Last night, we heard the beasts creeping closer. My husband left to investigate, and I haven't seen him since. All I have left are the things we made together. Hopefully, they are of more use to someone else.
These are dark times, my friend. I thought for a moment you were one of those dreadful goat men. Since you're not, would you like to buy something?
Well, let's check first. Mace on them.
Good thought.
Prepare everything I got. See if there's anything. Reptilian chainmail of focus. Oh, and she actually has some good phylacteries for me.
Thank you for helping me fight the darkness. To contend with evil is the essence of what it means to be a Templar.
In all things, there must be balance.
Citadel spawn. Plus 5 maximum essence. Socket. Plus 50 vitality, plus 61 life per second.
Must be near a piece of the sword.
Okay, so there's the Khazra Den. We'll explore the rest of the area.
I'm afraid not. That is not possible.
Alright. Check back in. What new do we got? Revive. Target an area, reviving fallen enemies to fight for you for a time. Army of the Dead. Summons a massive army of death to pummel the targeted location. Frailty. A crippling curse that instantly kills enemies at low health. Feels like that's not going to be super useful because you have to hit it at the exact right time, and how many times do you have a bunch of enemies that are all at low health at the same time? Bone armor and vengeful armament. Increased damage dealt to enemies. Huh. Not what I thought it was going to do based on the description.
glad that fate has brought us together on this.
Why is that?
You fight with both honor and ferocity. I know that a pure soul must burn within you.
Yeah, not sure I would say pure soul. Soul, sure, which is a step up from some of the things we're dealing with, but pure, not necessarily so much. This fear status effect is super annoying. Oh, that was a super annoying fight. Treasure Goblin. Eat it. Come on.
There are forces arrayed against us that are stronger than we ever imagined. Some greater purpose lies behind these trials, but I do not yet know it.
We shall set things right. That is all you need to know.
Do not fear the end.
A worthy foe.
Okay, back outside. Alright everyone, that is actually going to be it for this episode. So, I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed getting back into Diablo. It's been too long since I've played this. Make sure to check out Knickknack's Full Frontal Attack on all social media platforms, as well as the store over on eBay. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel, which has not only Knickknacks Presents, but Knickknacks Daily Grind, and the Knickknacks Sports Games show, which will be coming up very shortly. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you here next time.